So last Christmas, we came to you with a message right before Christmas to not buy into the doom and gloom as the market was plummeting. That proved to be fortuitous. We've got a couple different messages earlier in the holiday season to get you ready for what might be in store. So I was in the mall the other day with my daughter, Halloween day, and apparently Christmas trees are already going up.
They are.
So we thought, let's get ahead of the curve here, just like our good friends who are trying to sell us all stuff and get you some useful information earlier on. We're going to talk about trading Christmas from a couple different angles. The first place I wanted to start was not trying to trade markets, right? So one of the reasons that my message last Christmas Eve, well, at least for me, was so bold in telling you, hey, don't buy into the panic, don't sell, was that some of the different measures we look at for near-term market movements had hit really extreme levels. In that case, very extreme pessimism, bearishness, a number of different indicators across investor sentiment had really bottomed out. And that's usually a time where, at least again, for the near term, markets will bottom out. Again, for those of you who listened, and we know for at least our clients, that's the vast majority. Hopefully that saved you a lot of heartache and some real pain in what, again, has been a nice rebound off that market low. It's true. I've had some wise clients say, well, yeah, but year over year, it hasn't really done much. That's true. But if you got out down -20, this year's up 20 has certainly been a lot of help. So where do we sit today? Or early in the holiday season, we're almost a year to the date from when the real steep descent began in last year's market. We don't necessarily see a redux of exactly that. That hadn't really happened before in a fourth quarter Santa season, which is traditionally good for markets. And yet, we're just as concerned, but for a different reason, with now investor sentiment, which had bottomed out in September, August into the teens, if you remember the different market shocks that we had then, is now hovering up in 91 for CNN's Fear and Greed Index, i.e. a ton of greed. If you look at the AAII survey, that's over 40, well above its historical average, and almost a 10-point jump in just a couple of weeks. And even the Investor Intelligence magazine is north of 55, which they call their danger zone in terms of, again, really that greed setting in. So I know for a lot of the bears out there, when I come with messages to don't panic, they call me a bull. And for the people who like to perhaps be a little bit more pessimistic when I'm telling them not to panic, they say that I'm being too bullish. The truth, again, is finding that balance plan. And more importantly, and I'll turn it over here to Jake, again, mapping your investments to an actual plan, not to what you think the market's going to move at any point in time. And of course, for that plan, you need to have a map of a different sort.
Yeah. And when we talk about planning around the holiday season, it was last year that I got a lot of calls from clients asking, hey, how are these markets affecting my plan? Am I going to be able to retire? Am I going to be able to stay retired? And one thing that isn't taken into consideration this time of year is it's not necessarily markets that are going to derail your plan. We see that a lot when we're doing planning with both young clients and clients at retirement. That difference between, if I'm getting 7% long-term and 8% long-term doesn't make a huge difference in our confidence about your ability to reach your goals. It's this time of year. We talk about budgeting. We have somebody sit down and go through their plan and they say, hey, this is what I spend a year. This is the time of year when, whether it's that part of your brain that wants to give a little more, whether it's I want to make that purchase or, really do something for the kids and the grandkids, those are the type of things that can start to...
The Mercedes with the big bow in the driveway.
Exactly. Those are the type of things that can all too often derail a plan that has nothing to do with what's happening in the markets.
Yeah, no, it really is a difference. And big bows on cars jokes aside, as you and I have seen doing countless plans, it could just be in doing something as innocent as changing spending a little bit that gets you off course and leads you to a wildly different place. So with that, I know our invite for our holiday party is coming out here next week. Be on the lookout for that. Norman Rockwell, the Mac, it's always one of the best nights of the year for us. Be thoughtful around how you're trading Christmas, the trade-offs you're making spending, the trades that you might be tempted to make within markets. Again, get that plan, have it. If you don't, call us anytime. Thanks and welcome to the early holiday season.